This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the place to go for all of your website needs.
Predictions, schmedictions. Let's talk wish list.
Rolling.
Okay. Hey everybody, I'm Hugh Brownstone for Three Blind Men and an Elephant. Claudia and I are at the TWA Flight Center at JFK International, but hold that thought. We are thrilled to announce our 2023 Streets of New York workshops. So March 25th to 27th, and then again October 7th to 9th, we will be back in the greatest city on the planet for the genre. However, you don't have to hold that thought anymore. April 15th to 17th, we are stoked to tell you Streets of London, our inaugural workshop there. Turns out that Claudia and I have each worked and lived in London before. It's a bit of a homecoming for us, and it is my second favorite city on the planet for the genre. Finally. And we didn't expect that we'd be announcing this one. December 4th to 7th, this is really special, Streets of Tokyo. Now, Claudia and I just came back from Tokyo. It was the first time we'd ever been there. We figured it would be the last, bucket list kind of thing. But within 12 hours of arrival, we looked at each other and said, we want to live here. This is such a different place, and yet the people are so warm and so accommodating. It is a magnificent street photography location. So, if you're at all interested, hop over to www.3bmep.com/streets23 because space is limited and we are already 25% sold out after announcing just 3 days ago. This is going to be a great year. Hey everybody, I'm Hugh Brownstone for Three Blind Men and an Elephant. And today, rather than predict what will happen in the camera industry in 2023, we all pretty much know, right, how this is likely to go. Sony updates the A9, maybe the A1, first and foremost with the AI autofocus chip, or at least the algorithms from the A7R5. Nikon updates their Z camera bodies with trickle-down AF improvements from the Z9. Fujifilm updates the X Pro 3, XE4, maybe the XS10 and the lower XT series with the latest sensors and processors found in their XH2, XH2S, and XT5, and continues to roll out updated lenses to match what their 40 megapixel sensors can deliver. Panasonic, well, they just released a teaser video talking about the next phase, so you have to wonder precisely what phase they're talking about, right? Like, is it puberty? Menopause? Adult diapers? I don't think so either. How many possibilities for that word in the context of Panasonic mirrorless cameras in particular are there? Really? Maybe, like it does a Q3 and or SL2 with the kind of higher resolution sensor found in the M11, maybe offers an interchangeable lens version of the Q2 or 35 or 50 millimeter variants of the non-interchangeable Q series. Now that they've officially discontinued the M10 monochrome, how far away can they be from an M11 monochrome? OM Systems maybe finally gets right those 2 firmware updates away from perfection. Our friend Jordan Drake over at DP Review keeps repeating every time a firmware update does come out, a software developer's kind of nightmare version of Zeno's paradox. Or Canon, all right, finally embraces independent lens manufacturers, rolls out a set of accessibly priced, no optical compromise, no autofocus compromise, f2 primes, stops protecting the margins of their high-end cinema EOS cameras by crippling their hybrid cameras. Yeah, my prediction is that's not going to happen, which of course is right, a prediction too. Anyway, instead of all of that kind of thing, I want to share with you my wish list for 2023 because I'd rather be a co-author of the future than a simple consumer of it. And the less you or I think about what might happen with gear we might buy, the more time we have to shoot what is absolutely in front of us with the gear we do have without the mental overhead of not being in the moment. So here we go. First, I'd like to see someone finally fully deliver us from mirrorless camera designs aping SLRs because there's no need. By, hey, building a rangefinder style autofocusing ILC flagship equipped with a high-resolution sensor, high-resolution, no weird artifacts, EVF, 1x magnification, IBIS, and delightfully simple photocentric menu, touch interface, and physical controls. Now, Sony, you are close with the A7C already. Just stick the guts of an A7 IV, or better yet, an A7R5 into, okay, fine, a slightly bigger A7C body, and we're off to the races, except for that menu system. Fujifilm, I'm pretty confident you won't do a full-frame camera, but the X Pro 3 and XE4 in particular are due for upgrades. Stick the innards of the XH2 in particular into either one, including not only the sensor and processing engine, but, at least in the case of the X Pro 3, the XH2's high-resolution EVF, and with your new 1.4 primes along with the latest from Sigma and Viltrox actually, oh baby. Except for the menu system there too. There's still room for improvement in secondary switchgear too. Keep selling the XE4, upcharge for the XE5, and let the XS10 ride for another year or three. Nikon, you like retro, maybe you're missing the forest for the trees. Mine your origin story and recall that the very first camera you ever made with the Nikon brand was the 35mm rangefinder Nikon 1. Do a modern digital one. I bet that would garner a lot of attention. You've already got those brilliant 1.8 primes I keep prattling on about. Of course, Leica, you've been toying with an interchangeable lens Q and an EVF-M for years. I'd say go for it. Starting with an ILC-Q and the introduction of a new, tiny, uber-performant, autofocusing L-mount lens line for it, priced lower than the M's, than the SLs, beginning with a new 35 and 50. Now, Panasonic, you are the other half of the L-squared collaboration with Leica. You could marry your latest technologies, your manufacturing efficiencies, your IBIS competencies into a new rangefinder style, more accessibly priced full-frame camera inspired by the Q, and your own GX8 actually, complete with integrated tiltable EVF, and as an L-mount camera, get Sigma's lens goodness into the game as well. Speaking of which, hey, Sigma, fix your FP series by further leveraging your relationship with Leica. Clean up the ergos, build in contacts for an optional EVF into the top plate, and share economies of scale by using Leica's VisaFlex 2. No need to reinvent the wheel. Second, I'd like to see the industry bring back a small, lightweight, autofocusing, moderate speed, accessibly priced, no optical compromise, 200mm-ish prime with in-lens IS, please, as an alternative to the classic but big, heavy, and expensive 70-200 2.8. Something like the size of the old Canon 200mm 4.5. Right? Okay, maybe a little bit bigger because autofocus motors have to go somewhere, and because 4.5 is a little bit slow for me. Back to you, Sigma. You already have an older 183.5 HSM macro in your lineup. How about doing a 183.5 DGDNR or I series optimized for more general shooting? I know you do an amazing job. Now, Sony, you are already killing it with your lens line, especially with your push to make things smaller and lighter and faster while upping image quality. How about mating the optical performance of your 135 1.8 G Master to a modern 183.4 as part of the high end of your G line? Panasonic, you and Leica could be the perfect team to pull this off too, since the inspiration for my request is Leica's Apo Telit R 183.4, and your S primes would be a great roof under which this lens can be brought to market, far more accessibly priced than if Leica were to do it alone. Hey Nikon, your 1.8 S primes are superb, as I keep saying, and you make an F-mount 182.8, how about making a slightly slower, lighter, more compact, optically superior Z-mount version? I'd love to see that. Fujifilm, you've got such a size and weight advantage here with your APS-C system, and you need to update your longer glass anyway, as you already have with your excellent 150 to 600. I'm sure you're not far off from releasing an updated XF50 to 142.8, but I think you could have a field day with a smaller, lighter APS-C coverage 120mm f2.4 prime. Finally, 3. I wish all camera manufacturers would employ the kind of heat map data collection practices web UI developers have used for years to figure out which menu items and actually which physical controls are used on their cameras, how often, to what extent, in what sequence. I'd want them to do this in order to be able to drastically simplify those menus and controls and improve the logic and utility of factory default settings. I mean, shipping a hybrid camera from the factory so auto temp off is not set to high, and the camera therefore will overheat in a perfectly climate controlled corporate office shooting 4K 24p 8-bit 420 in just 30 minutes. Seriously? Okay, rant off. That was just a little fun. My top 3 wishes for 2023, but that's just me. Your mileage may vary, and as always, that's fine. I'd really like to know what you would most like to see in 2023 and why. I look forward to seeing your thoughts in the comments section below.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace. From custom domains to beautiful websites using their easily customizable templates that you can have up and running in minutes, e-commerce, email and email marketing, SEO, analytics, and scheduling, Squarespace does it all and has done it for us for the last 6 years. If you are a small to mid-sized business in any industry, Squarespace is the place to go for all of your website needs. Hop over to www.squarespace.com/Hugh for a free trial. And if you like what you see and want to move forward, receive 10% off your first order by using the discount code Hugh at checkout. Thanks, Squarespace. If you like what you've seen here today, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, join the conversation in the comment section below because this is an exceptional audience. If you'd like help with a portfolio review, gear selection, finding or honing your artistic voice, sign up for a one-on-one mentoring video call via Zoom at 3bmep.com/booking. Finally, please consider supporting our work by using the no-cost You affiliate links down below, sending us coffee money via PayPal, or most especially, joining us on Patreon, links down below as well. However you choose to support us, as always, we thank you for it.